Hey, Mean Matt here, and I'm Killer Kyle. Welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Hello again, it is your favorite two dudes in wheelchairs. Me and Matt, Killer Kyle, Wheels of Fury, part deuce. We talked about what we consider the best Summerslam of all time in Summerslam 92. Now we jump ahead. Matt considers the worst, and we'll see what my opinion of it is as we go along here. And I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot of renting going on.
I saw this a long time ago when I was a kid on VHS and didn't really think too much of it. I saw it recently, a few months ago, and I wanted to puke.
Oh boy.
I mean, as much as I enjoy 93, at least back then, I had my rose-colored glasses on. Because obviously the WWE didn't know what the fuck they were doing. You had Bret Hart as the WWF champion. That was cool. You had actually that's pretty much all I can think about.
Yeah.
You know.
So yes, we now discuss SummerSlam 93. Hold on to your hats. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
So we have the first match. We've got Big Scott Hall, Razor Ramon versus the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was a good match. You know, I mean, two guys that obviously are good wrestlers. Ted DiBiase had a stellar career at Mid-South and elsewhere. Obviously, Big Scott, WCW, Diamond Stud, AWA.
Yeah, AWA partnering with, well, a guy we will mention a little bit later.
Yeah. And I mean, this was a few months at least before Ted DiBiase would jump ship to WCW.
Yes.
So, yeah, Razor won.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
For the Intercontinental Championship, you got the champion Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and his bodyguard, Big Diesel. He's going one-on-one with Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Now, of course, to carry on what I was saying, it was Big Scott Hall and Mr. Perfect early on in their careers that were partners for a little while in the AWA and hung out together and what have you. And you know, it's funny because if you look at Big Scott back then, and he had the Tom Selleck look, but his hair was a little more afro-like, if you will, and he had the really thick mustache. And you kind of look at him and go, wait, that's Scott Hall? Because, you know, you look at him later on in his career, you know, in WCW as a member of the Outsiders, or, you know, like Matt said, the Diamond Stud early on, and then, you know, Razor Ramon, and it just doesn't even look like the same man. You know, got the mullet, and he lost the mustache, but he had some facial hair, and he was in a little bit better shape later on in his career than he was early on in his career. Like, he was in good shape back then, but he, got in a little better shape later on in his career. And yeah, Mr. Perfect, one of the most dynamic, unique, very well sought after heels in WWF at this point in time. And just, the vignettes of, like, him throwing a football and running and catching it, or shooting pool, or playing horseshoes, or hitting a home run, or whatever else. Just, really emphasizing on the perfect persona, no pun intended. And yeah, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, just a very, very good performer. Early on in his career, the AWA, his run in WWF, when he went to WCW for a little bit, very, very good. Very talented performer. And very good at talking, too.
This was a good match. You just had Kevin Nash come over to WCW after Shawn discovers him as Vinny Vegas and becoming Shawn Michaels' bodyguard.
Yep.
And Shawn Michaels becoming the Intercontinental Champion and everything else and in between. This match could have had a better ending. You have a little backstage brawl at WrestleMania 9 with Mr. Perfect and Shawn Michaels. And you think that these two can have an epic feud back and forth for the Intercontinental Championship. Kurt Hennig was the best Intercontinental Champion of that time. Yeah, you can say the Honky Tonk Man was the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all of the times. But Mr. Perfect was one of the best. He had Bobby Heenan. He had the Coach. He had the Genius. He had everybody in his fucking corner. And he could have had the WWE Intercontinental Championship at some point with his feud with Shawn Michaels. But we have to have Shawn Michaels! And Kevin Nash screw him over. And have a count out. This goes back to my rant a few years ago about Shawn Michaels and Tatanka. They had 3 matches. You couldn't think that Tatanka couldn't have been the Intercontinental Champion, but it could never happen. Could have never fucking happened. Because I'm Shawn Michaels. I don't lay down for anybody. And you know what? Mr. Perfect could have been the Intercontinental Champion for a second time. Think about that. It would have been a great feud. A great feud. It probably wouldn't last very long. I mean, Kurt Hennig came back in 96 or 97. I think it was 96. He helped Triple H win the Intercontinental Championship. But think about the hype that Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect would have had. Because this match was perfect, no pun intended, up until then. It was so bad that it pissed Todd Pettengill off. It really, really blows my mind what could have been and for some reason wasn't. Really fucking dumb. It would have been cool to see Mr. Perfect as the Intercontinental Champion at least one more time. But, of course, shortly after, he'll have to.
So now we go on to a tag team match for the WWF Tag Team titles. You've got Steinbroths, Ricky and Scotty, against Dr. Tom Pritchard and Jimmy Del Rey.
Yes.
the Heavenly Bodies. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey. Yeah.
This was, I think, when promotional exchange, kind of. We have Smoky Mountain in WWE, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, Heavenly Bodies were the only Smoky Mountain wrestlers to come over to WWE at that time. I'm not quite sure. I know that Jim Cornette was there.
Yeah, Jim Cornette was there. Well, there was a continuation of a feud that was in Smoky Mountain Wrestling for many years, and they had a few matches on WWF, Monday Night Raw, I think, for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Tag Team titles. It was the Heavenly Bodies against the Midnight Express? The Rock and Roll Express?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, this was a good match. Steiner Broth went over, you know.
Yeah.
And again, you know, a very good tag team, not only in WWF, but WCW. Honestly, I can't remember where else they wrestled at the moment. They had tag championships everywhere.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
You know, I think that around the time that Scott turned on Rick, it was probably time for them to break up anyways. I think they ran out of ideas, you know, and obviously Scott Steiner had a much better career as the Big Bad Booty Daddy. But this was a good match too. And again, another great tag team in WWF.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Now we on to this match. You got the 1-2-3 Kid against Erwin R. Seister, IRS.
Yeah. Yeah. This was interesting. Yeah. I mean, it was fine for what it was.
Yeah.
IRS one, I believe. So, I mean, Mike Rotunda, again, just somebody that was a tag team wrestler.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't really have a huge singles career. Yeah, he was IRS, and yeah, he did have singles matches. So, in that case, yeah, he did have a singles career, but do you think they could have put a singles title on him?
Of course not.
Nope. Not a fucking chance. And that was a shame too, but I mean, it is what it is. And Sean Waltman, I think, had a better career as X-Pac.
Well, yeah.
I mean, his only claim to fame was beating Razor Ramon as a jobber. And again, I saw that. I believe I was at Sick Kids, and I had my back turned. Jobbers didn't win all that much, if ever. So I mean, that was cool. But other than that, after this, I mean, after '93, his career as the 1-2-3 Kid, in my opinion, was the shits.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, like, he did okay as the 1-2-3 Kid. He had some pretty good matches, but like, his career never really seemed to fully take off till he became X-Pac.
Yeah.
Shit. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's fucking donkey, monkey, nut sucking, asshole fucking.
What we were supposed to have. Fucking Bret Hart versus King Jerry Lawler, but Jerry Lawler came out in crutches and said, I can't wrestle tonight. I was driving here and I got rear-ended, or whatever the fuck it was. So, Bret, you're gonna be wrestling Doug the Clown. And yep, this match was the shits. I mean, come on. I mean, you had a decent wrestling match until Jared got involved hitting Brett with a crutch.
Yeah.
Beating the shit out of Brett's leg. Whatever. But then he's forced to have a match, which was supposed to happen. And then the match, well, Brett wouldn't let go of the sharpshooter.
Mm.
So Brett did win, but then the rules got reversed. So that was fun. I mean, come on. Could you not think of anything better than that?
I know.
God damn it. And you know, what a waste. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I thought the feud was good, but it was just one thing after another. And then the whole kiss my foot match thing was just, I mean, why? Because he's the king? We have to have a kiss my foot match?
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't understand the logic anymore. And even back then, like I said, I was just a kid. I had rose-colored glasses, and I thought this was a good year, but obviously, I was fucking mistaken. But, whatever. I mean, Brett was still my guy.
Yeah.
So...
This match, which was a squash match in my opinion.
Yeah.
You got the Rocker cast-off Marty Jannetty against the Helsinki Hitman Ludwig Borga.
Yeah. Yeah, this was interesting. I mean, think about it. Marty Jannetty had a stellar career in WWE. As much as people make fun of him and, you know, call second-rate tag team partners the Marty Jannetty of whatever, Marty had a stellar career. It was like at least 3 years in WWE.
At least, yeah.
You know, after the Rockers split.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was interesting. And of course, Ludwig Borga came in. He was a MMA fighter, you know. But, yeah, he came in. The guy from Helsinki, Finland, who wanted to demolish any American that he could, I guess. And, yeah, this was a squash match, obviously. And I'm kind of not surprised.
Yeah.
You know. I think, too, this was the night at the end of the show where you had Ludovic and Lex Luger face-to-face in the backstage area.
Right.
But we'll get to Luger in a minute.
Yeah.
Just, you know, as much of a good heel as Ludwig Borga was, I think he could have benefited from at least the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, you got a destructive force like Ludwig, and he's whitewashing the shit out of everyone.
yeah.
Would you not have thought that he would have at least benefited from a title,
Yep.
Intercontinental title at least, and run with that? But no, you got another high caliber sort of performer that never went anywhere, which is sad, but
And the thing of it too, as far as I'm concerned, the only Scandinavian wrestler to enter WWE, at least, you know, Finnish born, you know. But regardless, yeah, it's a shame. I mean, Marty at least had the Intercontinental Championship.
yeah.
So. Another WrestleMania 9 rematch. The Rest in Peace match, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah.
The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And their fucking match at WrestleMania 9 was so bad that it's not even mentioned at the countdown of Undertaker's winning streak at Mania.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Giant Gonzalez was one of those guys that, you know, for a man his size, he could do a lot, but it seemed to be they monsterized him, if you will. I remember seeing him in WCW as El Gigante, and here's this dude over 7 feet tall, 420 pounds, athletic as all hell, Argentinian basketball player.
Yeah.
He did very well for himself in WCW, and then, they bring him in to feud with Taker, and it just...
Yeah.
It's a waste of talent as far as I'm concerned.
No, it was. It really was, because who the fuck did he feud with afterwards?
After Taker, he was just whoever they thought of to put him against, and then eventually he basically left to WWE and I think went back to Argentina maybe, I don't know.
I can't remember who the fuck he feuded with.
Yeah.
Great Khali had a better fucking run than he did.
Yeah.
God, and it sucks. I mean, this guy wasn't a good wrestler to begin with.
Yeah.
He couldn't even make the fucking water on Baywatch look good. Like, fuck, man, that guy couldn't even wrestle. And it's unfortunate. He was a better basketball player.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, Undertaker won, got his redemption.
Yeah.
So.
A 6-man tag match. We've got Tatanka and the Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart against Bam Bam Bigelow and the Head Shrinkers.
Yep. Team Cowboy and Indian. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was good. And you talk about piss your pants scary, the Head Shrinkers, when they're, well actually, they didn't bother me as much as Alpha, but.
Just the eyes.
Oh, yeah. And then of course you got the New Jersey native of Bam Bam Bigelow, a guy who basically had a stellar career everywhere he went.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, WWF, I'm not quite sure what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
I mean, what? His best known feud was Dork the Clown. I mean,
I guess.
just kind of there, and of course, the thing with Lawrence Taylor. But that was it. Like, there was no real good thing to come out of Bam Bam and WWF.
Exactly.
WCW, yes, sure. I mean, fucking WWF when he first came in, I don't even remember that. So, it's obviously didn't have much then either, but, ECW.
Oh, his best work was their ECW.
Oh, God, yeah.
Feuding with Taz, feuding with... Well, the main one really was his feud with Taz. I mean, feuding over the ECW television... Was it television title or the world title? I think it was the television title. And, you have, Bam Bam against Taz, and I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but Taz had Bam Bam, they're on the walkway, and Taz has Bam Bam in the Taz mission, and Bam Bam slowly walking backwards, he falls back, and they go through the entranceway, and then, of course, you head to, I think it was Barely Legal 97, I want to say. Bam Bam and Taz again, same thing. Taz has Bam Bam in the Taz mission. Bam Bam falls backwards and they go through the ring. There's this big ass hole in the ring, and it's like, okay, what's gonna happen? And you see Bam Bam climb out of the hole, reach down, pull up Taz, and pin him to win the championship.
Yeah.
And those two, really beat the hell out of each other.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. And like you said, Taz and Bam Bam, best match ever. And I think we even put it in our best matches video.
I think so, yeah.
And I mean, yeah, Bam Bam had a much better career in ECW.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a good match for what it was. And I mean, the Head Shrinker is definitely a big, tag team, doing that. Just double teaming. And yeah, Tatanka definitely had his feud with Bam Bam, and eventually they were a tag team with the $1 Million Corporation.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Smoking Guns and Tatanka won this match.
Right, yeah. So, we go to this. Oh, God. Why? So, WWF Champion Yokozuna and a pretty decent feud, could have been better, but going against Lex Luger. And it's like, okay, so let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that you have this body slam challenge on the USS, whatever the heck that ship was called, I can't remember, and Luger's...
USS Intrepid.
Yeah, USS Intrepid. So many people attempt to slam Yokozuna. Luger comes flying in on a helicopter, lands on the flight deck, he gets it, and, a few seconds later he's slamming Yokozuna. Okay, cool, whatever. So then you go into this match, and, Yokozuna's pretty much dominating Luger. It's not even really back and forth. And then you go and you have Luger body slam Yokozuna again, and they're celebrating like he won the fucking championship. Are you fucking kidding me? What in God's name on this God's green earth made you even remotely think that would be an even remotely good finish? You pissed the bed with fucking Perfect and Michaels. You shit the bed with this.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Now, I mean, you do go into WrestleMania 10, and, that was actually not bad. Pretty good, Luger, Yokozuna, and Bret Hart, that whole thing went down, but, okay, Luger body slammed Yokozuna again. But what the fuck was with the celebration? It's like, okay, you celebrate him slamming Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid. That's all cool. But this? What? Come on now. Oh, Lex Luger's so strong. He body slammed Yokozuna and he did it twice. Big fucking deal!
Since I was 8 years old, I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and it finally fucking sucked! You got a man like Lex Luger, muscles, America. Vince McMahon loves big beefy guys. That sounded sexual. He loves the United States of America. And you fucked the dog with this.
Yep.
You have a guy going in against the WWF champion in Yokozuna, built from Osaka, Japan. It would have been cool to have Lex go over, but we have to have a count out.
Yeah.
We have to have Lex use his metal plate in his arm and knock Yoko out of the ring and have a count out. And then you had the balls to celebrate him like he won the fucking title.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 10! You have 2 matches with Yokozuna. And you had the match with Lex and Yoko again.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we had to have Kurt had his boo-boo feelings hurt because he pushed Kurt as a referee. This goes all the way to the match at WrestleMania 9. Again, we talk about that dumpster fire. When it was Lex imperfect. So we had to rehash that bullshit. And again, Lex didn't win. It really boggles my mind, man, that you couldn't even pull the trigger on Lex Luger. Like, come on. Yes, I'm a Bret Hart fan, and we all know that. And it was cool that he won at WrestleMania 10. But this could have been completely motherfucking different. There was no excuse for this. And the fact that you even call this a good match, if you call this a good match, you need to get your fucking eyes checked. This was the shits. Upon shits upon shits. And both good wrestlers. There was no need for this.
Yeah.
The body slam at the trumpet was one thing, but this could have been great. You could have had Yokozuna beat Lex Luger on Raw. Who knows? Who fucking knows? But you chose. Hell, you could have had Yokozuna beat Lex Luger at the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But you chose a fucking count out. And this is why I loathe the Summerslam. If I ever pay that much to go to a show that has 3 countouts, then there are no words from how fucking retarded this show was. There is no other way to put it. You have no idea how dumb you people can be. And you think, you motherfuckers think this shit's bad now? You gotta watch SummerSlam 1993. And then you tell me how bad Alexa Bliss is.
And you know, it's crazy to think, though, that, like, okay, early WrestleMania 9, and prior to that, they brought in Lex Luger, and they're calling him the narcissist, and, he's, jacked up, and really well muscled, and, he's wiping the shit out of everybody. But then fast forward sometime later, Lex Express, and he's a fan favorite, and, everybody loves him. It's like, you talk about a quick turnaround.
Yep. Yeah, you have to take team with Davey Boy Smith and then off to WCW again.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vince. It's just amazing how, and this is the exact opposite of SummerSlam 92.
Yeah.
I don't know what your opinion is now, but I still think this is the terrible SummerSlam, in my opinion, that I will classify as the worst.
Luger and Yokozuna, that was fucking stupid. Perfect and Michaels, why the hell they did that, who goddamn well knows. Lawler and Hitman, that whole rivalry was the fucking shit. I mean, you know, fucking funny and entertaining as hell. The digs Lawler would take at, you know, Stu and Helen and the Hart family, but other than that, the whole rivalry with Brett and Lawler was just goddamn stupid as hell. Aside from that, you know, I mean, the other matches were okay. So I mean,
And that's the problem. With all the shit that you have matches that are just okay. I mean, not everything has to be great.
no,
But you don't want just okay.
yeah,
And that's unfortunate. I mean, yeah. Ludovic Borga came in at a time where we didn't know what direction we were going.
yeah,
Marty Jannetty, well, he was just there.
Mm.
You know? The only reason you had Taker and Gonzalez was so you can redeem Undertaker and
essentially.
give him his match that he had the shits at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
The Take Two match was probably the best of all of them.
right, yeah,
And I'm talking about the Steiner Brothers and Heavenly Bodies.
yeah,
The rest of this show can go split to hell!
So with that, we conclude our look back at SummerSlam 93, and we look ahead now to SummerSlam this year,
Yeah.
and TakeOver 36,
Yeah?
which I think that card's gonna be fucking epic.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of geek out moments there, man.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
SummerSlam's looking to be actually pretty good.
What's neat about this year, though, is that SummerSlam is on Saturday,
Yes,
and NXT TakeOver is gonna be on Sunday, which is kind of interesting.
yeah.
But
You would think they would go, like, over the years, they would have an NXT TakeOver the Saturday, and then, let's say, a WrestleMania the Sunday, or, you know, TakeOver Toronto, let's say, on the Saturday, SummerSlam at your Canada Center, you know, on the Sunday, whatever.
yeah.
So, like, to have SummerSlam on the Saturday, that's interesting. And I mean, I know for many years they would have pay-per-views Sunday afternoons. And then at some point I think they decided, let's go Sunday evening for whatever reason. But yeah, to have SummerSlam on the Saturday is like, okay, that's different. We'll see how it goes and where it goes.
Mhm.
So yeah, next week we do TakeOver 36 and SummerSlam, and maybe we'll fit Resurgence in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got Emergence coming up. There's a whole bunch more to come.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're still stacked,
Oh yeah.
but this has been very entertaining for us.
Oh yes.
But
I believe in the years Matt and I have been doing this little online show, if you will, this is our first triple banger, if you want to call it that. Earlier tonight we talked about Triple Mania, and then of course the back-to-back SummerSlams of 92 and 93. So,
that Long Being Triple Mania will be posted
Yep.
later on tonight. Soon, actually.
yeah.
We'll see these episodes midnight Monday.
Mhm.
Look for that. And hopefully, we might have a best and worst Survivor Series.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I think Survivor Series has been pretty good.
Yeah, over the years it's been pretty
So,
good.
we'll check that out. Anyways, for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle, and we will talk to you next week. Deuces.
See you later.